lot to talk about here this morning, but I want to start off with just a focus on where we are with the financial assistance. And I appreciate your reminder to the committee, Ms. Oudkirk, in terms of how these commitments that the United States has made with these compacts, how that's viewed in these insular areas. I had an opportunity to be in Palau right after we passed the agreement to extend the financial assistance to Palau. And we recognize that we reached the agreement in 2010, but then it took an additional 8 years to pass it because we were arguing over where we were going to get the offset from. And at that point in time, the pay-go rules were not, well, no, pay-go was in place, and that was our problem. And so this is where this fight ended. Anyway, long story, I go over to Palau just literally days after this has been signed into law, and I'm thinking there's going to be a ticker tape parade. And it was met with, well, it's about darn time. And it was very important for me to be there at that time and to hear very specifically from leaders and just individuals out in the region who had said, you know, we weren't entirely sure that the United States was going to ever make good on its promise, on its commitment. And if you don't make good on your commitment here, what does it mean to the others who are also waiting for fulfillment of that commitment? So then where we are right now with RMI and FSM, so the pay-go rules weren't in place when financial assistance was extended for the RMI and the FSM in 2003. During that time, we had the same 3 departments before this committee. We asked how the financial assistance was going to be paid for, and everybody was pointing down to you, pointing to the Department of Interior. So I guess the question to everyone this morning is if we are to extend financial assistance to RMI and FSM, we know that this is going to be a pretty significant amount, significantly higher than the $216 million for Palau over 15 years. We might reach that amount in 1 year here. So what plans are being made right now to find a way to pay for any potential expansion? And the question to state, to Interior, and to Defense is, will you all be a part of that funding source? So if you can give me an update as to what we're looking for with regards to financial assistance for RMI and FSM from each of you. See, look at this. Everyone, you go first. Let's start with state.
Okay, so thank you very much, Chairman Murkowski. What I can say here in this venue is that we have already started consulting on this question, but we don't yet have an answer. And so,
what would you need for the answer? Do you need the funding source? I mean, when you say you're consulting, is it in whose budget does it come from? Give me a little.
Whose budget will it come from will be a key part of the question. But I think also the points that Dr. Gutnick brought up, figuring out the magnitude, figuring out what the funds need to be used for, that's a key question here, and how we go forward when the direct economic assistance ends is still a question that we're sort of deliberating on internally within the interagency.
Okay. Mr. Shriver or Mr. Domenech, you want to add further to that?
I don't have that much more to add, except that, you know, per the letter that you wrote to the 3 secretaries, encouraging us to put together an interagency group to begin addressing the post-compact timing, and in your letter encouraged us to have a viable pathway for funding it. We have been meeting, so the interagency that the Assistant Secretary mentioned is active, and we've been talking about it and working through the dynamics of what that might look like. So it's an active discussion with us and with OMB, and just have not come to a resolution quite yet.
Okay, I know around here, looking at a date of 2023, 2024, to folks on the outside, that might seem like a long ways away, but we know how quickly it creeps up on us, and then we're on it. And so I would just, again, urge that this level of consult within the three departments not only be ongoing, but really stepping it up. Let me ask one more quick question. So unlike the compacts with the RMI and FSM, which are going to continue indefinitely, the compact with Palau has a 50-year expiration. So that takes us to 2044. That's a longer way out, 25 years. But is there any plans that you are aware of, Ms. Oudkirk, with the prospect of pursuing an extension? Has Palau expressed any interest in extending that? Do you know where we are on that?
Thank you very much, Senator Murkowski. To the best of my knowledge, we have not discussed extension beyond 2044.
Okay, that's consistent with what everybody else knows? Okay.